Welcome back to Hannity. All right, the New York Police Department announced that it has ended a controversial unit that tracked the daily lives of some Muslims as part of an effort to detect terror threats. Now, the NYPD said yesterday that it has disbanded the surveillance program, which sent plainclothes police officers into Muslim neighborhoods for the purpose of gathering information on possible terrorist plots. Now, the newly anointed mayor of New York, Comrade de Blasio, is taking a victory lap over this move, but does it put people in New York, in the country, at risk just to satisfy political correctness? Here with reaction from the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Zuhdi Jasser, and the man who's a former New York PD detective himself, Bo Dietl. All right, so we know that there are radical Islamists, right?
Yeah.
We know that the 9/11 Commission report said they are at war with us.
Right.
Right.
And we could just see on the television what's going on in Yemen with all the al-Qaeda.
All the top leaders.
Right, all the top leaders, they're jumping up and down, they're showing their weapons, and their whole thing is to come and attack Europe and attack America.
Right.
And now, I mean, now we're disbanding it, right? We all know what happened in '93. I was here in '93 and 2001. In '93, the blind cleric.
Trade Center.
Yeah, the blind cleric that was there preaching all this stuff over in Newark and all this. They were recruiting people, and that's exactly what happened. Hey, look, I'm not against Muslims. I'm against Muslim radicals that want to kill people in America.
And we should also be infiltrating groups that are KKK oriented, any or radical,
right wing nuts.
Anybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Everybody wants to kill people.
But there is an element in the Muslim community that has been radicalized, and they're seeking to recruit. That's just a
fact of
undeniable
life.
Truth.
Fact of life.
All right, Zuhdi, your reaction.
Well, it just doesn't make sense, Sean. Why now? I mean, you had a Judge Martini give a decision in February that basically said that he absolved the NYPD and said there was nothing discriminatory, there weren't any civil rights broken, that basically they were doing what was right, and that it wasn't targeting a religion, but rather targeting populations, communities that could be a threat and have hatching terror conspiracies. So I can tell you as a Muslim, Sean, that the biggest target of radical Islamists are other Muslims. And who's going to be doing this work now? They should be talking about reaching out to liberty-minded Muslims, but instead they're tipping their hat to Islamist lobby groups.
They're not doing anything illegal. They're not bugging people.
No,
they're just
listening to people. They're going into cafes, having coffee. They've got the ears up. Because let's face it, what happened here in the World Trade Center, we're a target. We're always going to be a target. And again, when has the majority of the Muslim religion stood up and said, hey, we're against the radical Islam. We're against killing people, because there is good Muslim people. But where are they? Where are the leaders to say that they condemn what these people did on 9/11? I don't see it, man. I want my friends, my Muslim friends who are good family people, to step up and say, radical Muslims, we don't like and we don't need them in our religion.
Zuhdi, I think the answer is obvious, and that is that they're intimidated by the radicals. They'll be viewed as apostates. There'll be a fatwa out against them, and they feel that fear speaking out. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. And this marriage between the left that's all about appeasing minority groups that actually are dominated by foreign groups like Qatar and other governments that are dumping money into us, not paying attention into the radical Islamist threat, are creating a nexus of a power that is preventing moderates, reformists. I mean, even in Egypt, they threw out the Muslim Brotherhood, and yet in the United States, you have our national security being done by PR. And I can tell you,
we're the ones that gave the Muslim Brotherhood F-16s, tanks, and $1.5 billion to the same guy that referred to the Israelis as the descendants of apes and pigs.
But still, 10 million Muslims went to the streets and threw them out and said, we don't want them. And in America, unfortunately, we're still going to the Brotherhood legacy groups to use them for advice that are saying, oh, we don't want to be victims. You're victimizing the entire Muslim community when you defend the Islamists, when in fact we need a strategy. And I'll tell you, Sean, the NYPD had a paper that talked about the homegrown threat and radicalization in the West in 2007. Are we to believe now that they've disbanded that whole program?
Listen to me.
I don't think so.
Well, we have a city like New York with Mayor Big Bird there. All of a He dismantles the stop and frisk. He dismantles this intelligence organization. Hey, we were safe for a while. We're not going to be safe, and I don't want to scare people, but it's going to come, and then everyone's going to go, which way did they go? Which way did they go? Because no one's going to know what the hell happened.
No, we're letting our guard down. We're now in a pre-9/11 mentality. Right. By the way, he announced this on the one-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing.
You know what I heard? President Obama is going to assign Al Sharpton as the new terrorist czar.
Well, apparently
we still have no strategy.
All right.